Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott Gossage, and I'm pleased to welcome you this evening to our Silicon Valley Classical Guitar School student recital. This evening, you're going to hear an impressive number of hardworking, well-prepared, artistic young performers performing for us on the classical guitar music from the period stretching from the Renaissance through the present day. So I'm going to introduce them one by one and tell you what they'll be playing. And we hope you will enjoy the show. We're so pleased you could join us. Our first performer this evening will be performing May Song by Shinichi Suzuki. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Iris Yuan. Well, thank you, Iris. That was wonderful. If I'm not mistaken, that's Iris's first performance here on our virtual stage here at Silicon Valley Classical Guitar School. Always so impressed. If you've never tried to perform music with the classical guitar, ladies and gentlemen, it requires a great deal of focus, concentration, attention to detail, a little bit of courage to get up there too, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Iris. We're going to move on to our next performer now. Our next performer is coming to us, I'd like to mention, all the way from Flagstaff, Arizona. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe coming to us from the comfy chair and the next to the fireplace. Is that what we're looking at? That's what I've been seeing from Callan right now. I can't see him right now. Coming to us all the way from Flagstaff, Arizona. It may be snowing there. I hear it's at a high elevation. So today, our next performer will be performing a toy by an anonymous composer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Callan Karadi. I don't know if you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, the production team and I here at Silicon Valley Classical Guitar School Studios are very impressed by the performances we've heard so far. Thank you, Callan. Wonderful job. I was right. The comfy chair, the fireplace. Is it snowing? I wonder if it is. It must be. Thank you, Callan. Now, moving right along in our program, our next performer will be performing the famous waltz by Bartolome Calatayud. This is a piece that everyone dreams of playing when they first begin playing the classical guitar. And here to offer us his interpretation this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Emmett Muffley. Fantastic, fantastic, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Emmett. And may I commend you on your presentation, I have to say. Quite good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this is show business. And in show business, I have to tell you, anything can happen. So we always have to be...
Wait, don't.
Okay, never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move right along.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I'm getting a message from the, I don't know if you can hear that, from the production team, the other members of the production team, to continue with the program as written.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yes.
Yes, correct.
I will introduce our next performer on the program. All of you who are following along at home, we have our next performer is going to play another waltz by the great Niccolo Paganini, the Italian violin virtuoso, who was also a heck of a guitarist, it turns out. Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer is Chen Singh. Wonderful, wonderful. So great. It's there are many, it's our privilege here at Silicon Valley Classical Guitar School to work with many of the families we work with and multiple siblings of each family. In some cases, multiple generations of each family. So we see Chen here. We know his brother very well. His brother, yes. And so Yuan. And so now, I'm reminded of this because we have another muffly coming up, ladies and gentlemen, here to offer us his presentation, his interpretation of the Allegro by the great Mauro Giuliani. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Quentin Muffley. You can always tell when it's a hit when the production team here at Silicon Valley Classical Guitar School reacts in such a manner. It's a spontaneous eruption of joy and appreciation for all the hard work that all these fine young guitarists are doing. And it sure warms our hearts to hear you playing the music that we're all working so hard on. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to introduce our next performer, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to play 3 pieces that were all composed in the Renaissance period. And that was a period of time that is so long ago that no one knows the name of the composers of these pieces. Here to perform the Renaissance medley, None Such, Greensleeves, and Packington's Pound. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Richard Lee. Thank you, Richard. Thank you for your wonderful performance, your care in preparing for this performance, your artistic efforts. It's so great to hear all these great young guitarists play these terrific pieces on the classical guitar. We're so glad everyone could join us this evening. And now I will introduce our next performer. Here to perform the Valse Espagnole by Jose Ferrer, please welcome Alisa Vendrell. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. We hope everyone at home listening enjoyed that as much as we did here in the studio. Oh, I probably should explain maybe a little bit about our production here, these recitals, is that I'm here as your host and MC, and in front of our stage. Many of you remember appearing on this stage in real life, in front of live audience right here on our stage. Now you're appearing in front of a live audience on YouTube, and I'm here. I'm here with my colleagues, Rob Watson and Patrick O'Connell. They're our production team helping us to present this live stream. It's a lot of fun to present the recitals in this way. You may hear some applause in the background every now and then. That's my colleagues and I enjoying the results of everyone's hard work. I'm going to move on and present our next performer. I'll introduce the performer who will play Maria Luisa by Julio Sagreras. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Claire Yee. Thank you so much, Claire, for that beautiful performance. It's so much fun to see you sitting there with the piano in the background. And I'm wondering if you also play piano or if someone in your family does. And it's very musical, I have to say. I feel we're all very musical. It's so nice to share the music with everyone. We're so glad you could join us this evening. Our next performer, yes, it's another Muffley, ladies and gentlemen, here to perform the Etude by Francisco Tárrega. This is Campbell Muffley. Thank you very much, Campbell. That's such a wonderful performance of the Etude by Francisco Tárrega. And such a delight to hear you play this evening. You and your two brothers, I have to add. It's so nice to have a family affair. Thank you, Lori and Matt, the parents of the three Muffley children. So glad you're on board with us this evening. Wonderful performances. And we're moving along in our program. We have a two-pager tonight. That's what we call it, ladies and gentlemen, in the business. Of course, by the business, I mean the industry. We have a two-page program this evening. And moving on to the second page of our program, tonight we'll hear a performance of the Afro-Cuban Lullaby by the great Leo Brouwer, the great composer of guitar music, Leo Brouwer, our performer this evening, Nishant Joshi. Thank you so much, Nishant. I don't know about everybody else, but hearing that music, it made me feel good. And I thank you for that, Nishant. We're going to move on to our next performer. We're moving from the 20th century, well, of the composer Leo Brouwer, to the 16th century. Our next performer is going to play a piece that was written in the 16th century. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good grade in math, but I think that was how many years ago was that? Was that 400 years ago? Was that more? Oh my gosh, a long time ago. Here to perform the great piece of music, Guárdame las vacas by Luis de Narvaez. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Minuk Jung. Yes, the story there is that the composer of that piece was a shepherd guarding or a cow herd guarding the cows, and while spending a long night vigilantly guarding the cows, came up with the melody or the bass line actually of that piece, and somehow it became notated, and it's one of the earliest pieces of notated music that we have, as I understand, in any form, let alone for the classical guitar. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Minuk. I'm moving right on to our next performer. Yes, more brothers, ladies and gentlemen. I guess the theme of this evening is brotherhood, where we have 3 brothers from the Muffley family, 2 brothers from the Tsing family. Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer here to perform a musical pastime by Johann Rathgeber. Please welcome Yuan Tsing. Thank you so much, Yuan. Thank you so much. The production team here at our studio going wild over that one, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big favorite of everybody here. The musical pastime of Rathgeber. Thank you so much, Yuan. And now our next performer is going to play a piece of music by a composer who is often considered by many, and it's hard to make these superlative statements, but probably if you could ask most musicians who the greatest composer of all time was, you could start a really big argument by saying it was Johann Sebastian Bach. But this very important composer for all genres of music. We're about to hear a piece by the great Johann Sebastian Bach, the Bourrée BWV 996. And our next performer, ladies and gentlemen, Nina Kwan.
Bravo!
No.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. And we love your performance, Nina. And I have to say, we love your style. I mean, I think you're the only performer who performed with pink sunglasses on top of her head. So wonderful. I wonder, probably it's easier to see when you do that. No, bravo, bravo. Yes, so wonderful. Thank you so much. And we're so pleased. I want to thank everyone tonight who participated, all the performers, all the parents who make all this wonderful work that we get to do possible through all your efforts. And everyone who might be joining us out there in internet land, just trying to find some uplift, some spiritual support during this difficult time. And we thank all the wonderful children who performed tonight for providing that for us. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We've reached the point in our program when we have but one performer left. So I'm going to bid you good night. And I will simply introduce our next performer. Here to perform the Belle Gavotte, again by the great Jose Ferrer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mukhi Krishna.
No.